Browns have the weekend off. They are on the bye week, which means they get a little extra time to get ready for the New England Patriots. Patriots play Monday night against the Jets, so they're coming off a short week. Yeah, I know it's reaching at something, but hey, Browns need any advantage they can get against New England. John Dorsey met with the media and assessed where the Browns were and also where he thinks they might be headed.
And the facts are we're 2-4, but nobody in this organization is happy about 2-4. I mean, that's real. But let me remind everybody here, there's a lot of football to be played here. I mean, we have 10 games left in the season. I think the bye week comes at a good time. I think it gives the coaches a chance to review, self-assess, make some corrections, and implement those corrections. It gives the players a chance to regroup and then make that push on the back end of the 10-game schedule. So with that being said, the facts are what? We're 2-1 in the AFC. We're 1-0 in the AFC North, and we're 0-3 in the NFC. The positive here is we have 5 home games. We have 5 divisional games. There's a lot of football to be played here. I know from personal experiences that I've been on teams that, have had worse starts than this. And guess what? They've played really good at the back end of the season. So with that, I'll take your questions.
There's going to be growing pains. What stands out, though? What should be maybe further along now after 6 weeks than it is?
I think what we have to do is probably have to be a little bit more consistent. We have to be a little bit more attention to detail. And I think what you do here now, the players now have a chance in these next 4 days to kind of, look themselves in the mirror and just say, okay, what can I do, what I haven't done in the first 6 games to kind of forge this thing and move this thing in a positive direction? Because again, I can reiterate, there's a lot of football left to be played.
What is your theory on why Baker Mayfield isn't as sharp as he was in the last half of last year?
Well, I think I told you all in the spring, to master the quarterback position is very hard. You just can't go up and show up and do it. I mean, there's a lot involved in this. He's in his second year. And right now, defensive coordinators are probably throwing different looks that he hasn't seen. But Baker's one of those guys that, he's smart enough. He's not going to make the same mistake twice. So he's learning from that. But I like where he is. I like his competitiveness. I love everything about him. That hasn't changed for me one bit in terms of his competitiveness, his ability to throw the football and move his thing. What I really like is his teammates like him.
You talked a lot about how you expect, I don't know if it's 20 or 25% jump from a guy, ideally year 1, year 2. Have you seen, where can you point to areas where Baker has improved when most of the numbers show that he hasn't?
Well, what I like is, like earlier when he was rolling out to his right, and a lot of right-handed quarterbacks will do that early in their age. But what I've liked is now all of a sudden through coaching, through Ryan and through Todd and through Freddie, he's starting to step up within the middle of the pocket, and that's a progression there. I think his balls are still accurate. Everybody keeps saying there's inaccuracy in his ball. I still think he throws a good football.
Given the fact that the expectations of the team, yourself, 1-0 in the division, very much alive in the AFC playoffs in that regard. Do the coaches need to do a better job of managing the game to get wins rather than worry about developing the offense?
I think Freddie's hired a very talented coaching staff. I think they're exceptional teachers. I think there's really good communication on the game management standpoint that you talk about. I think there's clear communication there.
Have you been unhappy about the way some situations have been managed?
You know what? Right now we're 2-4. We're going to nitpick a little. Everybody's going to nitpick, but right now we're 2-4. We got a lot of football left.
Do you feel like Baker, every single thing that you saw in him when you made him the number 1 overall pick, all the goals and dreams and hopes that you had for him, do you still see all of that in front of him and he's still that guy?
100%.
What are some of those things? What are some of those reasons that make you feel that way?
I like his approach to the game of football. I like the game planning processes of that. I like how he goes out there and competes. I like his grit that he shows. I like how he throws the football. I like how he extends plays. And, again, last I looked, it takes 53 guys to put this thing together. And it's got to be 53 guys playing the game of football.
You
Clear in the offseason, not to buy into the hype, that they have to go out and do it. It's not just about talent. How do you think the team, and even the coaching staff too, has responded to the spotlight being on them, and do you think that that could be a contributing factor to some of the early season struggles?
No, I don't. I think there's got to be a degree of consistency. There's got to be a degree of attention to detail, and I think that's natural. Everybody's going to say that. These guys work really hard. The coaching staff works really hard at preparing these guys, and that's what it's going to take. It's going to take attention to those little details, moving this thing forward.
Traded Corbett the other day, and I just wondered how you felt, first of all, on the Corbett thing, and then also on the offensive line.
Well, on the offensive line itself, I'll address that, is they have to be a little more consistent in their play, and that's real. With Austin, I'm going to do what's ever in the best interest of this organization, and I thought yesterday was the appropriate time. I want to wish him best, and the new environment will be good for him, but I'm going to do what's best for this organization. And at the time, I thought it was probably the right move right now.
You have something else you could do on the line or whatever to make it better?
Yeah, I mean that's for coming down the road.
Is it linemen that are good enough to start in the middle of the season, are supplies usually limited? Is it particularly limited this year on the trade?
It's a hard position. You can't have enough of those bigs. I mean, the foundation, I've always said, the foundation for the offense and the defense is very important, and you have to acquire a lot of those pieces. And, it's just a hard position to acquire, especially right about now if you're referring to trades.
I think we're fine in a mental state. We're obviously disappointed that we haven't started off as crisp as we wanted to. And the issue is, we gave some games away that we had a chance to play better in. And that's simple. We just have to be more consistent. You go from 1 week of not doing anything on offense to the next week of playing pretty well on offense besides turnovers, which are the deciding factor in a lot of games. You just got to find that consistency and be the same team week to week, and hopefully it's a good team.
Joel, yesterday, Freddie was pretty demonstrative, saying, hey, we have all this talent here, but it doesn't matter. It's gotten us to 2-4. We're playing like a group and not a team. How do you get to playing like a team and not a group, which is what you need to do?
I think it's accountability. I think it's having pride in your work. If you're accountable to yourself and your teammates when you go out there and you know exactly what you're doing on every play and you give your best each and every play, like usually good things are going to happen, and there's just been a play here or there where it's like someone hasn't been accountable and we've made a mistake and it hasn't been good. And it just seems like it's not all in one play. We have a play here, a play there, and it's 4 or 5 plays, and you're like, well, there's 3 interceptions and a blocked punt, and you lose the game by 4 points. You score 28, you have 400 yards of offense, you run the ball pretty well, you pass the ball pretty well, but you can't find a way to win, which is tough. It's just coming together and doing all the little things right. There has to be a pride in the way you prepare each week to go out and play. A focus that I'm not going to be the one that lets the team down. And as everybody takes that step and keeps growing as a group and doesn't want to let the guy next to him down, then I think we'll grow more as a team.
Joel, along those lines, Baker was clearly fighting through an injury on Sunday. What does it mean to have one of your leaders, teammate like that, kind of bite the lower lip and stick it out?
Oh, he's tough, man. He doesn't want to come out of the game, and that's a credit to him as a player, as a person, as a leader. Just who he is, you know what I mean? And you knew that before that. You don't need to see him toughen it out. Obviously, if you can't do it, don't be out there. But he thought he could play, and he was fighting through it, and I give him all the credit. I know he took a weird hit, and he just keeps fighting for us. And he's had some bad luck on some of the throws this year and stuff, but he keeps going out there, and he keeps trying to will us to victory.
Yeah, obviously not what we want to be after 6. But I think we've identified problems we need to correct, and everything's achievable. And looking ahead, we still have 5 division games to play. AFC North championship's still attainable and realistic, so that's what we're shooting for. And if you do that, you get in the playoffs. That's where we want to be.
Joe, what have you seen from Mac Wilson in these last 4 games, and where has he gotten better?
Yeah, I mean, Mac, as every rookie is, coming in, your head swimming in the NFL the first time. But as you get more experience, you start to settle down a little bit more. You start to trust yourself, make some plays, and I think you definitely see that with Mac.
Would it be even more satisfying after this slow start to end up achieving what you wanted?
I mean, yeah, obviously overcoming adversity always makes everything a little more sweet in the end. So if we're able to do that, I mean, last year there's a bunch of playoff teams that started 3-3, 1-5, the Colts. So there's definitely teams. There's definitely been happened before, and I mean, make it to the end after overcoming something and make it better.
Do you think in terms of, we got 4 now, we can only afford 3 more? Or
No,
look at it that way?
not really. Just worry about the next game in front of you. Just got to win the next one, and then can't worry about too much stuff in advance. If you overlook a team that you should beat, or if you overlook a game that you think you got, it's the NFL. People make you pay. So you just got to take one at a time and keep stacking blocks.
How do you, I know you probably don't pay attention to what's going on. The fans were all panic-stricken. I mean, how do you just dial that out? I mean,
Yeah, well, for me, you can't pay attention to it, because if you do and you start putting that into your psyche and if you let that outside noise creep in, you're going to affect how you play on the field. So we got to worry about what we're doing. I just worry about my job and in the building, take my coaching points, try to get better at that, and can't worry about somebody outside the building saying I got to do something better or do this or do that, because they don't know what's going on. So.
Joe, have you taken note of the number of big-name players being traded this year? What do you make?
I mean, yeah, obviously it's a shifting landscape. I feel like that's all sports in the past 5 years or so. There's been every league, basketball, soccer, baseball, there's been blockbuster moves here and there that surprise everybody. It's just the way it is. It's the business aspect of it. And I mean, I don't know. No comment on past that. Doesn't affect me very much.
it does feel like
Unless I got traded.
It does feel like
Joe Schobert, Browns linebacker, Browns with a bye, getting ready to play the Patriots a week from Sunday.